So previously, the first aspect of responsibility that we worked with earlier in the course had to do with simply giving ourselves permission to look at other options or choices. We weren't committing to do anything, we were just looking. Are there other ways I could choose to think about this? Are there other ways I could choose to just consider this situation other than the one that I've been choosing? That's all that we looked at. The second aspect is really considerably more challenging and has to do with another choice, but this is the choice to whether or not to be willing to take 100% responsibility for what goes on inside of us. Are we willing to become the author of what goes on inside of us? How many people, every now and then, certainly not on an everyday occurrence, find themselves having this kind of an experience? I am upset because. We said these patterns get habituated, and then the thing happens, we react, and it doesn't occur to us that there's some belief that got violated, some definition of reality that we think is important, and we just go right from the cause, what we perceive as the cause out there, to the feeling that we're experiencing. And we say, I'm upset because. And we assume, it's logical, that it's what happened that is the cause of our upset. And if we think this way, the logical place to seek to intervene would be where? Well, you would seek to try to change the thing out there. And your reasoning would be, quite logically, since that's the cause of my upset, if I change what's happening out there, I won't feel this way anymore. It's been 30 years. I'm still waiting to meet the first person who ever changed something out there that changed the thing inside of themselves. It doesn't stop us from trying. It just doesn't work that way. And this philosophy is really epidemic on the planet at this time. It's epidemic. You see it everywhere. You see it on the news. You see it. You certainly see it in politics. It's just everywhere. And on an individual level, when I do I'm upset because, and it has anything to do with what I'm involved in, the result of that is always emotional suffering. We suffer over the things we perceive that are upsetting to us. Interpersonally, it's called things like conflict, family estrangement. I mean, it's the reason why the divorce rate in this country is 50%. I mean, that's amazing, amazing statistic. And how many people stay in the marriage anyway, but are not really happy or fulfilled in it? I'm upset because, and it's your fault. And since I live with you, I'm stuck. And the other person, of course, is saying exactly the same thing. When this pattern is run internationally, it's called war. I'm upset. Our nation's upset because those guys are a different tribe. Those guys don't believe in the same God that I do. It's epidemic on the planet at this time. So here's where choice comes in. You can choose to be in the world one of two ways. You can choose to be in the world as a victim, or you can choose to be in the world as an empowered person. You can't do both. They're mutually exclusive. Either you're one or the other. You can't have it both ways. If you think about it, I'm upset because is a total and complete victim position. Why? Because the power, the thing that really is the activating agent, is outside myself. Therefore, I have no control over it. If I have no control over it, I'm a victim of it, whatever the it is. If you buy into empowerment, then by definition, you buy into taking 100% responsibility for what goes on inside your consciousness. Not your spouse's, not your children's, not your parents', your consciousness. That's all that you're responsible for, what goes on in your consciousness. And you come to recognize that all events that disturb your peace are simply triggering mechanisms. All events, no exceptions. Because see, the instant you allow one exception, everybody's going to claim theirs as that exception. And then we're right back to where we started from before. All right, and so this brings us to principle number 14, something to really get clear about. Nothing outside of you causes your disturbances. Things happen, they trigger disturbances that are already present. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. We are certainly not condoning objectionable behavior. We're not saying you shouldn't pay attention to how some people behave around you. We're not saying it's inappropriate to set boundaries. We're simply saying that whatever someone else does around you, or not even around you, they could be on the TV, whatever they do that disturbs your peace or triggers upset inside of you, there's an unresolved issue present that you can take responsibility for and begin to heal. And at USM we like to say, and you have the opportunity to heal something for the very last time. That's a happy day. You heal something for the last time, the experience you tend to have is there's this rush of energy that it's just like you feel lifted. And spiritually you are. You're going up that ladder. That's what you have to look forward to.